Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today's video is what if Naruto had the Rinne-Sharingan part 2. I hope you guys enjoy. Like goal for this video is 20 likes. Uh yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. Also, I've seen a lot of comments on whether or who the ship should be. A lot of people are saying Hinata and my own character that's an Uchiha. I will now say put your answer in the comment section if you want it to be Hinata or an OC that is an Uchiha, maybe even Sasuke's sister or something, or maybe like Obito's sister, Madara's granddaughter, or something. Just put your comments down below and I'll check it for part 3. That is when the ship starts getting open, I guess. Anyways, but I hope you guys enjoy and I'll see you guys in the video. It's been a couple of years since Naruto has been getting training from Shisui, and finally it's the day for him to get put in the academy. Well, he was already in the academy, except he just never really went. Every time he went training with Shisui, he was actually supposed to be at the academy. He just put a shadow clone there, and today was finally graduation day. Shisui and Naruto be training, as Shisui be having his Tanto out, Naruto blocking his Tanto with the kunai, as Shisui would be asking Naruto questions. So, what team you think will be in? Is Naruto blocking the Tanto? He would think about it. Well, if my clone was correct, I am failing the class, so I'm assuming I'll be put in a group with either the best and the best Konoichi, or I just get put in a random team. Maybe it's like in a hat or something and they pull out names. As Shisui chuckle. Well, I don't think it's like that, as Naruto would do a backflip dodging the kunai Shisui threw. As Naruto would look at Shisui, Shisui would notice Naruto eye pulse as it became the Rinnegan, or the one ring Rinne-Sharingan. So my plan is to make Naruto every single ring with the Tomoes on it have a different ability. So Naruto only has one ring right now, so yeah. As the one ring would pulse, as Shisui would suddenly disappear, appearing where Naruto used to be. Shisui turning around would suddenly be catched or eye to eye with Naruto's regular Sharingan, which is red. Yeah, I'm changing that. Naruto has a regular Sharingan that's red, but when he activates the red Sharingan, it becomes black and white. So yeah. As Shisui put in a Genjutsu, immediately breaking out, he'd look around to see where Naruto went. As he'd look up, down, left, right, and then he would notice that Naruto was actually left the vicinity. Naruto or Shisui would be confused until suddenly something would wrap around his leg. Looking down, he would notice that he's still in the Genjutsu, as the entire world around him would become white. Naruto would grow out of the ground as Naruto would smile. He's put Shisui in this Tsukiyomi-like jutsu. Not exactly like Tsukiyomi, but basically Tsukiyomi. As Shisui would smile. Damn, you got me again. As Naruto would chuckle. Well, I mean, you did look into my eyes. As Shisui would snarl. Well, that's kind of unfair. Naruto would chuckle as the Genjutsu would break off, as the whole world would start to shatter, revealing the regular colored world. As Shisui would look at the sun, and it would be getting late. Tomorrow would be the day Naruto would be put in his team, as Shisui would hand Naruto something. Naruto would look over at the thing in Shisui's hand, which turned out to be the Tanto he was using to fight Naruto. Naruto would stare at it as Shisui would nudge it towards Naruto. A gift, as Naruto would grab it. But isn't this your Anbu sword? As Shisui would chuckle. I'm not an Anbu anymore, so I don't really use it. As Naruto would thank Shisui for the gift, as they would both go their separate ways. Was it this one that Shisui survived? Yeah, it was. It was in this one that Shisui survived. Anyways, the next day, Naruto is walking to the academy. As he would look around, seeing other students who also have a headband on, he would be calculating which team he'd be put on. Looking at every student who would be walking in, he would say he'd put rankings on the one that he doesn't want to be in team with, and another he'd be, or not that bad in a team with. As he'd go to seat in the back, as he'd watch the students roll in, and soon Uruka would walk in as well. He would say congratulations to everybody who graduated, and soon start naming off the teams. Team 7, Sakura Haruno, Uchiha Sasuke or Sasuke Uchiha, and Uzumaki Naruto. Everyone would be shocked, especially Sakura, as she was happy for a bit that she got Sasuke, but she also got the dead last of the class. Some girls would be jealous of Sakura, but at the same time, be happy that they got, or she got Naruto, because now there's a guarantee that Naruto's not on their team as well. Naruto would sigh as he would think about his team right now. Sakura is a bookworm, but can't really use bookworm or intelligence about history and math in combat. And Sasuke was an emo. As Naruto would rest his head on his arms, thinking about what a team he's going to be in. Eventually, all the teams would leave, and Naruto would assume that Kakashi is their sensei. As Naruto did do some training with Kakashi, because Shisui was in Anbu, Hiruzen decided that Kakashi should also train Naruto in the Sharingan, because Naruto already unlocked it, so it would just be that way. Naruto would be looking at the door, waiting for Kakashi to walk in, as he would listen to Sakura trying to get a date with Sasuke, while Sasuke would say nothing in return. Naruto would get tired of listening to Sakura complain and ask Sasuke on a date, so he'd get up and actually leave. With them seeing Naruto get up, they would ask where he's going, as Naruto would say he's just going to get some food. They would go back to, or Sakura would go back to trying to get a date with Sasuke, while Naruto would go find food. Eventually, Naruto would be in Ichiraku Ramen. As he would sense a presence behind him, turning his head, he would see Kakashi, as Kakashi would give him an eye smile. Naruto would glare at Kakashi, as Kakashi would point over at the academy roof. We'll be meeting there, as he would disappear. Naruto would finish his food and pay the old man who has always been treating him well, as he'd get up and walk towards the academy again. Eventually, Kakashi would arrive in the classroom and tell Sakura and Sasuke to meet him on the roof, and when they did, they would see Naruto already sitting there. Sasuke would ask how Naruto already got here, as Naruto would say that when he was eating, Kakashi just walked in and told him to meet up here. Sakura and Sasuke would understand this, as they would sit down next to Naruto, as Kakashi would be sitting on the railing. He would introduce himself as Kakashi Hatake and ask them to introduce themselves as well. Sakura, being an idiot, would actually ask Kakashi to demonstrate. Kakashi would do the same thing in canon, not really telling them anything important about himself. No goal, no hobby, no likes or dislikes. Sakura would have the same goal, while Sasuke would also have the same goal. Naruto would think it's a dumb idea to attack Itachi because he's been getting training from Shisui, and if Shisui is as strong as Itachi, like Shisui said, then Sasuke does not stand a chance at this current moment. Eventually, he'd go to Naruto as Kakashi would call Naruto Pikachu, as Naruto would stare at Kakashi. Eventually, he would say his goal is to become the strongest shinobi in the world and surpass every single Hokage to be, or ever, like beginning or past and present, maybe even future. Kakashi would think that's a big goal, but he would nudge it off, as he would tell him that the test would begin tomorrow. Sakura, being confused, would ask Kakashi what he means by the test, as Kakashi would say that the test that they did to become a genin was just a pre-test to get ready for the real test. Eventually, he would tell him to meet at 9:15 and that they can't eat whatsoever. Naruto would obviously catch this lie and would leave, as Kakashi would also leave, leaving Sakura and Sasuke behind. Sakura still asking Sasuke out on a date. Next day would come in, as Naruto would be at the training grounds at 10:15, as Sasuke and Sakura were ahead of him. They had asked where he's been, as Naruto would explain that Kakashi's always been late, so he tends to be late as well. Sakura and Sasuke would take that to note, as now every time Kakashi would give a time, they would be at least a little bit late, because they know their sensei will be always late, or will always be late. Eventually, Kakashi would arrive 2 hours early, or 2 hours after Naruto arrived, as Naruto would look at him, as Sakura and Sasuke would be extremely mad. Well, Naruto did eat. Of course, he figured the lie, so he did eat. Naruto did eat, as Kakashi would notice this immediately. He would give an eye smile to all of them, especially Naruto, as he would bring out 2 bells. Okay, the test is simple. You just have to get a bell, and you pass. Sakura would stare at the bells, as she would count them on her fingers, but there's only 2, as Kakashi would smile. Yes, this is to eliminate the person that will be holding back the team, as Everyone would look at Sakura, as Sakura would stare back at him. Uh-oh. While Kakashi would bring out a timer, as he would tell him by the end of noon, that is when the test is over. He would start the timer, place it down, as he would say, 3, 2, 1, go. They would all disappear, except Naruto, as Naruto would be standing there. Kakashi would stare at him, as Naruto would pick up a pebble he found on the ground, and toss it in his hand, as Kakashi would raise an arrow. You're not gonna fight? Anything? As Kakashi didn't sense any chakra building up whatsoever, no in his feet, no genjutsu, as Naruto would shrug. I don't really need to fight if I can just get the bells. As Kakashi would raise an arrow, so you're just gonna ask for them? As Naruto would nod. Can I please have the bell? Kakashi would give an eye smile. Funny, but you can't just ask for the bell. As Naruto would say, really? As he would throw the rock for the final time, as he would land in his hand, closing it. As suddenly, Kakashi would feel a huge amount of chakra go into Naruto's eye, and in a blink of eye, Naruto would blink and it would be normal again. Kakashi would wonder what happened, as he would break the genjutsu, but there was no genjutsu to break. As Naruto would start throwing the pebble again, and as Kakashi would say, so you're just going to be throwing that pebble? As Naruto would say, not really a pebble, but more like the bell. As Kakashi would raise an eyebrow, looking down, he'd see one bell missing and a pebble in its place. As he looked back at the thing that Naruto was tossing in the air to reveal it was actually the bell. As he'd be making the noise, Naruto would smile. As Kakashi would switch up. I forgot you had that ability. As Naruto would start laughing. Eventually, he would sit down next to a tree as he'd be spinning the bell in his hand. Well, now it's just for Sakura or Sasuke to get the bell. I wish them luck, as he would actually go to sleep. This would make Sasuke and Sakura confused. Sasuke very mad that Naruto was able to do that weird ability to switch somehow, almost like the substitution, but not really the substitution, because Naruto didn't replace himself with it, but another object. Eventually, Sasuke and Sakura would be taken out and leaving one bell left, as Kakashi would say that they all failed. Naruto would be confused, as he would say he's holding up the bell, as Kakashi would explain about teamwork, as Naruto would sigh. He'd eventually teleport another rock with the bell and just give it to Sakura. Kakashi would raise an eyebrow as Naruto would say, there, now one of them has a bell, and I gave it to her, so that's teamwork. Kakashi would stare at all of them, as Sakura would give it to Sasuke, and that would confirm the team. Yes, Naruto did not figure out the true meaning of the test. I always make him figure out the true meaning, and it's kind of boring. So I'm just gonna make it this one-time thing. Soon they would go on D-rank missions for a few months, for like 2 months, as Naruto would soon get very, very sick of it. At least he has training with Shisui every day, but at the same time, this is gonna get really boring eventually. And today would be the final day that Naruto lost his cool. While Kakashi was getting out another D-rank mission, Naruto would swap that D-rank mission with a C-rank mission. Kakashi would stare at Naruto as Naruto would be acting like nothing happened, as Hiruzen would smile. So, you think you can do a C-rank mission? As Naruto would look at him, of course we can do C-rank missions. We've been doing D-rank missions for 2 months. As Hiruzen would think, well, you did break the world record for getting the cat back. As we go to a flashback where Naruto and the rest of the team would be looking for that damn cat who has always managed to run away. Naruto would finally spot it as he would look into a bag, put a rock in it, and soon switch the cat with the rock out, capturing the cat very easily, and since it's already in the bag, Naruto just closed it. Back to present time, Hiruzen would think, as he would say, alright, you can have a C-rank mission, as Kakashi would read over the C-rank mission Naruto put in his hand. It'd be an escort mission to Wave Country to help this bridge builder or defend himself from bandits. Hiruzen would tell the bridge builder to walk in, and soon he would walk in smelling like alcohol. Everyone would close their nose except Kakashi because, he's a shinobi, and Hiruzen. As the old man, or Tazuna, would look at the 3 kids who were meant to protect him. Really? I paid for a C-rank mission and this is what I get? As Hiruzen would raise an eyebrow. This is a C-rank mission, Tazuna. I don't know why you want higher ranking ninjas. It's a C rank. There should only be bandits. As Tazuna would sweat one drop as he'd say, whatever, and walk out. Kakashi would look over at his team and say, okay, meet me at the village gates in 2 minutes, as he'd disappear. Naruto would think that Kakashi would be a bit late by maybe 5 minutes, as he'd disappear and the rest would be running to their homes. Naruto would arrive actually 4 minutes earlier than supposed to. That doesn't really make sense. He would arrive earlier than everybody else, as he would see Sakura and Sasuke walking to him, and they would wait for Kakashi. Eventually, he would arrive with Tazuna drinking another beer bottle, as they would leave the village gates. Continuing walking on, they would eventually pass this puddle, which would confuse Naruto, as he does sense a lot of chakra in it. Not a lot of chakra in like Jonin, but more like almost Jonin. Low Jonin, he would say. He would give a sign to Kakashi, as Kakashi would look over at the puddle as well, as he would think nothing of it. Oh, of course he knows what it is, it's just he has a plan in mind. Eventually they would leave and the Demon Brothers would break out and wrap their chain around Kakashi, killing him in the process, which would surprise Sasuke and Sakura. Naruto, easily seeing the body replacement jutsu and the genjutsu get put up, would immediately not freak out. Eventually, the Demon Brothers would rush after Kakashi or Sasuke. Sasuke being able to take down one, while Naruto would be able to take down the other with ease. As he was wrapped around the chain, Naruto just replaced himself with the Demon Brother who wrapped him up, and that was easy. While Sasuke actually had to do a bit of work to take him out. Eventually, they would interrogate the Demon Brothers and figure out the truth about this mission, which might even be an S-rank mission for what Jonin, or maybe even higher Jonin, would come after Tazuna. Being convinced by his getting, Kakashi would decide that he would actually continue on the mission and eventually arrive at the boat, which would take him to Wave Village. And eventually they would arrive. But before they can actually get to Tazuna's house, Kakashi would yell at all of them to duck, which then a sword would fly by, hitting the tree that was near them. Eventually a person would land on the tree, as Kakashi would lift up his headband immediately. Zabuza Momochi. As Zabuza would stare down at Kakashi. Hatake Kakashi. Well, it seems I got it pretty lucky. As he'd be looking around, I get to kill a pretty good ninja and get a good bounty as well, and even kill this bridge builder. As Kakashi would bring out his kunai ready to fight, as Naruto was aiming for the tanto, which he was given by Shisui on the back of his waist. So he's just on the back. How would you... Yeah, it's on the back. Not on the back, but like the bottom back. But like how Sasuke has his sword normally. Yeah, there. But since it's short, if you haven't seen Shisui's tanto, it's pretty short, so it'd work. Naruto would grab the handle of it, as Kakashi would see that, as he would tell Naruto not to do anything and that he got this, just guard the bridge builder. Naruto would sigh as he would go into formation, a triangle around the bridge builder, while Kakashi would fight Zabuza, and eventually would fall for Zabuza's trap, going into the water prison. But Naruto would see this, he would immediately think of an idea, switching Zabuza with Kakashi, as Zabuza would be confused that he's in a water prison and Kakashi's out. Eventually the water prison would break since the source was gone. Zabuza would fall to the ground as he would jump away, dodging the kick from Kakashi. Zabuza would be confused on what happened, as he would look over at Naruto's eye to see the Rinne-Sharingan, or a one-ring Rinne-Sharingan, as he'd immediately think that he's the main problem and would go in to kill Naruto. But Kakashi, being out of the water prison, would actually be able to take down Zabuza. About to kill Zabuza, suddenly Senbons would come out of nowhere, piercing Zabuza's neck, killing him in the process, which would surprise all of Team 7. Eventually, a Hunter Nid would walk in, explaining that they had been looking for Zabuza for quite a long time, and thanking them for taking Zabuza down to a strength where he's able to take him down. Eventually, he would pick him up and disappear, as Kakashi would feel very tired. Walking over to his team, he would tell or ask Tazuna where his house is, as they would soon walk over to Tazuna's house. Kakashi getting rest while Naruto would be doing training in the backyard. Or he'd be doing training very far from the house because he's trying to learn out his Rinnegan abilities. He sensed that his abilities not only stop at a Tsukiyomi and a switch ability, but even more, as he's been reading books on the famous Sage of Six Paths, saying that he's able to create a moon. Naruto would assume that he is using a weird ability to make a moon and just send it up there. So he'd be meditating, trying to locate where these memories would be at. Like the Sharingan, when you unlock the Mangekyo, your abilities or the name of the jutsu would pop up in your head. So Naruto is trying to figure out all the abilities that he currently has at this moment. While meditating, someone would soon walk out of the bushes, but this will be the end of this part. I hope you guys enjoy. Please subscribe, turn on notifications. Remember, like goal for this video is 20 likes, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.